Hi everybody, welcome to my latest YouTube video. This is Beatle Dave, your friendly neighbourhood record collector, calling to you from Derby in the UK. Now in the last video we looked at this LP, the Beatles Beat, which I got off the internet and it was part of a collection. So I thought for this video we would look at some of the other albums from this collection as well. I'm not quite sure if this is going to be one long video or two or three parts, so I'm just going to start and see how we get along. When I bought these this collection, the person who was actually advertising them said they were a loft find or an attic find, so I think he does house clearances or something like that. And I did have a quick look through them, and like I said, this one caught my eye straight away, basically because I've never had a copy of this one. But we have looked at that one, so we're going to look at some of the other ones that are in this collection. There's some nice things. Another one that was in it is with the Beatles. Again, this is a German pressing, and I was lucky enough to get one of these a few months ago. But I think this one is a slightly later version again. Late 60s, early 70s. The track listing, as far as I can tell, is identical to the UK version, so it won't be long. All I've got to do, all my loving, don't bother me, little child, till there was you, please Mr Postman, side 2 is roll over Beethoven, hold me tight, you really got a hold on me, and it just say Gotta, Gotta, I want to be your man, devil in her heart, not a second time in money. Now the cover is actually in really nice condition. But it has come away at the seams there, which, I mean, I've got some proper glue so I can stick it. Like I say, I think this is a later pressing from the late 60s, early 70s, and the number is 1C02/04181, and it does actually advertise Sergeant Pepper on here, so it is definitely a late 60s pressing. Like I say, apart from that coming away at the seams there, it is actually quite nice. This one is on the blue EMI Odeon label, similar to the Beatles Beat. Again, I haven't played this yet, and I will apologise if I look a bit rough. I've just done 8 days straight at work doing 10 to 12 hour shifts, so you'll have to excuse me because I am a bit tired, but I thought I'd just get this one out of the way, and you know, give you lot out there some more interesting Beatles finds to look at. So this is a stereo, and it is, like I say, it's on the blue EMI Odeon label. To be honest, this one is not in as good as condition as the Beatles Beat. It has got some marks, but there's nothing that's feelable, I don't think. But for saying how old it is actually quite acceptable. That is the labels. A nice heavyweight record, and if it plays as nicely as the other copy I've got, I will be more than happy with this. That is the inner sleeve, which needs to be replaced, but I have got some anti-static sleeves that I can place this in, and like I say, the only downside is it's come away just there. But apart from that, this actual cover is really nice, and that will be glued anyway, so that isn't really a big problem as such. So that is the second album in this collection. He says. Yes, that is the second album from this collection. So far, that one and that one I'm more than happy with. And for what I paid for these, which I will tell you at the end of this video, I'm more than happy with them. Then we get a 12-inch single. I did have this many years ago, but it's got lost over the mists of time. And this is actually, it's not mega rare, but it is actually quite rare to find nowadays. It is the 12-inch version of Love Me Do, which was, this was actually released in 1982 to coincide with the 60th anniversary. For the 20th anniversary of the release of Love Me Do. So this is now 40 years old, which is actually quite scary because I can actually remember going out and buying the 45 of this. So side 1 you get Love Me Do and PS I Love You. Side 2 you get Love Me Do, the original single version. Special 12-inch single featuring rare recording of Love Me Do, it says on here. Again, apart from needing a clean, although to be honest that one might just get away with doing a wipe over with my anti-static brush. Nasty ginger hair there, I don't know where that's come from. So that is side A. And then that is side B with the original single version of Love Me Do on. Nice though. Again, the cover is really, really nice. Don't think it's worth a hell of a lot of money, to be honest. Probably around 15, maybe £20 mark on a good day. It looks like it might have been stuck on a wall at some point. Is that blue tack? No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's paint. And the number on this is 12 because it's a 12-inch version, 12-inch record. And then it's R4949. So that is it. 12-inch version, single version of Love Me Do. Some people still collect these. To be honest, I can live without 12-inch singles, to be honest. I do like them, don't get me wrong, I do like them, and you know, there is something fairly rare on that. The only difference between Love Me Do and the original single version is one's got Andy White on drums and Ringo Starr on tambourine, and the other version has Ringo on drums. And they do sound very, very similar, to be honest. Again, so far, that's that 3. The 4th one is an interview album. And I seem to remember I've got a copy of this somewhere as well. I don't think this is actually worth a hell of a lot of money. But like I say, for what I paid, I don't think it really matters. Again, it's not in bad condition, to be honest. I think that just needs a wipe over. There's no scratches or anything. In fact, it looks like it's hardly ever been played. So there's no music on this one. Like I say, it is just interviews, and it is just called the Beatles Interviews. What is it? It's side 1 is a newscast and interview, February 1966, regarding John Lennon's statement about the Beatles being more famous than Christ, which was also out of context, wasn't it? Then it's press conference recorded at the Astoria Hotel, Chicago, 12th of August 1966. So I don't think there's anything really rare or anything on that one. Probably worth between £5 and £10 probably. This next one is actually a bit strange. Now, the seller did say this was the worst one out of the lot, and to be fair, it is quite ropey, but there's a couple of things that go in its favour. It is the White Album, but it is a German version, or a German pressing of the White Album. So you get the sticker there. So obviously it is a, well, I presume it's a later pressing, but it's a top loader, so it is a bit confusing. So I presume it could be 1969, 1970, even 1971, something like that. But I'd be surprised if it was later than that, with it being a top opener. You do get the Beatles embossed just there. I don't know if you're going to catch it on there or not. And you do get the stereo on the back. Now, unfortunately, somebody has got a little bit of pen on it there, and a bit of pen on it just there, and the seam is split just there. But when you open it up, it is actually in quite nice condition. Like I say, it is a flip back as well, so you've got your flip backs there, and then the records come out to the top, like the UK version. So they come out the top like this. Right. Now, unfortunately, there is only one record in here. and I think it's sides 3 and 4. Yeah, so it's sides 3 and 4, and they are pretty rough, but saying that, I've just gone like that and it's just got rid of some of the marks, so I think it just needs a good clean, to be honest. But I think I've got a spare copy of sides 1 and 2, I think. So it is on Apple. This has got a really nasty scratch just there, so I don't know if it's going to play. The rest of the album, there's a scratch there, but these might come out with when I clean it on my project record cleaning machine. Side 2's okay, well, side 4's okay, but it's just got some marks which you probably can't see. But if I go like that, yeah, they will come out. So it's a shame it's only sides 3 and 4, but like I say, I'm sure I've got sides 1 and 2 in there. In fact, I'm going to have a look. So just bear with 1 second, folks, because I'm just going to see if I've got sides 1 and 2, because I know I used to. Let's have a look. Don't think I have. Oh, hang on. I think I have, but I think it's up there, so I'm not going to bother looking for it now, but I'm sure, but that's mono. But it would make the album sort of complete. But you don't get the posters, the photos, but you get the poster. And this is the original German poster. It's actually in really nice condition. A little bit fragile. It is coming away in parts, but it is complete. And the way you can tell it's an original German one is because underneath it says Electra something Hamburg instead of EMI Records just there. So that's probably worth a few pound on its own. Like I say, I know I have got a spare White Album disc, but I don't know if it's disc 1 or disc 2. So that's how many is that we've got there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. So I think it was 5 and 6, not 6 and 7. So that's 5. Then also there is this one here, which again, it is all part of the same collection in the same seller, but there is some really nice things in this. In hindsight, maybe I should have done this in 2 videos, but because I've started, I'm going to carry on. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. So that makes 11, doesn't it, in total? And then when I've shown you these, I will tell you how much I paid for them. First up, we have got a lovely copy of Abbey Road. And this actually is really in lovely condition. The spine and everything is really nice. Got a nice shiny cover to it. Doesn't have Her Majesty on the track list in there. It has a aligned Apple. And I don't think this is the great one, although you can just slightly see the great there. And this is German. Again, it's German, so it's 1C 062 04 243. It is on Apple. You get a white inner sleeve with it, and it is an anti-static sleeve, so whether this is the original sleeve or not, I'm not 100% sure. And to be honest, yeah, it does need a clean. Definitely needs a clean, but it's not in too bad a condition. There's a slight scratch there, and it doesn't say Her Majesty on the labels either. So that is side one. And there's some marks, I don't know if you can see them, but I think this one will play, and it is a really, really nice heavyweight record. And that is side two. So again, that is one that I'm really, really happy to add to my collection. Bear in mind, I haven't bought these to sell or anything, I've just bought them to add to my collection. So, you know, if they are a bit rough, it doesn't really make any difference because I haven't bought them to resell. But if I was going to resell them, I think I could actually make quite a bit of money on some of these. Like I say, that is the German version of Abbey Road. And to be honest, I'm very, very happy with that one. I'm very, very pleased to have that. It is actually really, really nice condition. Great, love it. Then we've got a mono version of With the Beatles, PMC 1206. So this is a UK copy. I think it's a first pressing. It's in a Gerald and Lofthausen Patterns Pending sleeve or cover, and it's got, for the track listing of You Really Got a Hold on Me, it says You Really Got a Hold on Me. So it's, and it just say got her again, look on there. So I think that indicates the sleeve is a first pressing, and it has got the original EMI Emitech sleeve or inner sleeve. On the label it says You Really Got a Hold on Me, not got a hold on me, and it's a KTM tax code, which is very, very, very faint on there. But I think this is a second pressing. The actual record is a second pressing, but the cover is a first pressing, because for money you've got the Dominion London Limited credit, where on the first one I think it was Joe Bit wanted. I think I'm right in saying that. Again, definitely needs clean. It's not in too bad a condition though, to be honest. I've seen worse. I've bought worse, to be honest. XEX4481N. Parlophone Co. So you've got the Parlophone and everything rights on there. Parlophone Co Limited. So, you know, that's not too bad, to be honest. Again, it does need a clean. It really does need a clean. It's not the best copy I've ever seen, to be honest, but it's not the worst either. It's an acceptable copy, and I think that will actually play okay. So that's an original UK. We think it's a second pressing, don't we, of With the Beatles mono. Again, we'll go into values in a bit. Quite happy to have that as well. So I don't think, to be in all fairness, I don't think these are that bad. He was saying, you know, he hadn't play tested any of them and everything, and I thought, well, that's fair enough. There's a basically I bought it for that, the Beatles Beat. Now we've got a copy of. This is a strange one. This is the Beatles Help. It is a UK copy, so it's stereo, but you don't get the stereo on there. PCS 3071, but it is still in a flip back sleeve. Look, flip back sleeve, yeah. Made and printed by Gerald and Lofthausen's Limited. Patterns pending, again, patterns pending sleeve. I know this is a later copy. You get the original EMI advertising sleeve with this one. So this is advertising things like Let It Be, Sentimental Journey, McCartney, Abbey Road, The Hollies' Greatest, Sergeant Pepper, Scylla Sings a Rainbow, is it? Oh no, Scylla Sweet Inspiration. Then you've got other ones on that side. So that is, I think, the original inner sleeve for this copy. Now the strange thing about this is, it is a very, very weighty record, and it is in a flip back sleeve, and it's got the original EMI advertising sleeve, but it is on a 2-box EMI Parlophone label. And again, this one doesn't look in too bad a condition, to be honest. It says the Gramophone Co Limited, and then made in Great Britain, so it is definitely an early 70s pressing. That is side 2. But I always thought that in the early, like late 60s, early 70s, you could only get these on a 1-box EMI with a flip back sleeve, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And knowing me, I probably am. But it is a bit of a curio though. Probably you lot out there will say, "Oh no, Dave, that's as common as dog shit." It might be, but I've never seen one with a flip back sleeve with a 2-box EMI Parlophone silver and black label, but with still the Gramophone Co Limited and made in Great Britain and all that lot on it. So I think it is genuine. I think that is how it originally came out. Again, in really, really nice condition. I would say that is between very good plus and excellent minus. And it's got a lovely sheen on that cover. You probably can't see it quite well there. And the back is nice, so it doesn't look like whoever had this smoked, because sometimes they get dull, don't they? Then we've got Hard Day's Night. Again, this is stereo, but no stereo. This is a similar story to the Help. It's in a flip back sleeve, in a Gerald and Lofthouse Limited. This has got pattern number, not patterns pending, PCS 3068, sorry, 3058, and it's the songs from the film A Hard Day's Night, obviously. Again, you get the flip back sleeve, or tab back, or whatever you want to call them. Again, you get the vintage EMI advertising sleeve. But again, this is on a 2-boxed EMI Parlophone label with the Gramophone Co Limited, all rights reserved, text, and the made in Great Britain right at the bottom, not made in the UK, which the later ones had. And usually if it's a 2-box EMI, it usually says EMI Records there. So this can't be any later than around 1972, 1973, I'd say. But judging on the weight of the vinyl and the inner sleeve and the cover, I would say this is probably from around 1971. It's in nice condition, though. That really is in nice condition. Side 1. Side 2. I think I've actually been very, very lucky with these. For what I paid for them, anyway. The cover is in really, really nice condition as well. Starting to bow there a little bit, where I think that's where it's been stood up. But no rips or anything, nice sheen to it. Again, really nice and clean on the back. Yeah, happy with that. Then we've got, how many copies of this have we got? We've got the Beatles for sale. Stereo. Gatefold sleeve. With the flip back, or tab back, or whatever you call them. I always call them flip backs, but I was told off by someone. They said, "Oh, it's not called a flip back. It's called something else." But I can't remember what they said it was. This is PCS 3062. Now, the first thing to say is the cover is intact. Even the spine is intact. It's not very, you know, it's a bit ropey, but it is intact. That's nicely intact, that's nicely intact. But when you open it up, because of the construction of these, the spine always goes there, or there, or all the way along there. So I'm saying, compared to that South African one from a few weeks ago that I showed you, the construction of the British cover for this one is inferior. Some great songs on here. No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black, rock and roll music. I'll Follow the Sun, Mr. Moonlight, Kansas City. 8 days a week, Words of Love, Honey Don't. Every Little Thing, I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, What You Doing, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. Although it was a hit when it came out, as all Beatles records were at the time, a lot of fans don't actually like this LP. They'd say it's one of the least favourite LPs. I've always liked it, but mainly a lot of the fans will say they don't like it because there's a lot of cover versions on it. When you think the album that came before it, A Hard Day's Night, was full of Lennon and McCartney originals. So I can see people's point of view on that one, but to me it's a cracking little album. It's the Beatles for sale. Or in America you got a slightly different version called Beatles 65, didn't you, which was basically this album with a couple of tracks took off and a couple of other tracks put onto it. Again, you get the lovely EMI advertising sleeve. And I think this one's on 2-box EMI as well. No, I tell a lie. This one's probably worth a bit more. This is on a 1-box Parlophone EMI, which dates this from between 1969 and 1971. And it's probably worth quite a bit, well, worth a few pounds, but like that, worth a bit of money. Lovely label. And to be honest, yes, it needs a wipe over, but there's no scratches on that whatsoever. A little bit dusty, yeah, but no scratches whatsoever. So if the sleeve was a little bit better condition, this would have been worth a lot more money. Still probably worth a few quid as it is, you know, don't get me wrong, and for what I paid for them, I'm quite happy. Yeah, it's just a shame about that sleeve there. The rest of that is actually a lovely item to have. Still a lovely item to have now, don't get me wrong. Finally, we've got the Beatles 1962 to 1966, and I can hear you saying, Dave, how many bloody copies of this have you got? Loads. I mean, I've got a load there, I've got a load up there, I've got a load in there. But this is on EMI Electra, so it's a German pressing, although it's on the Apple label. Lovely photo of the Beatles on the front, which isn't the same as the Please Please Me album. It was took at the same time, but it's an alternative picture. Very similar. And then, of course, that was going to be the Get Back album, wasn't it? So if you open them up like that, you can see the difference. And they weren't even taken 9 years apart. They was actually taken 6 years apart, weren't they? Because that was from 1963 and that was taken in 1969. So, like I say, this is a German copy. You all know what's on this, I'm sure. But this hasn't got the George Martin credit on the inside. Because usually George Martin credit there, which I think makes this slightly rarer. Unfortunately, we haven't got the original inner sleeves with the lyrics. That's the only downside with this one. But having said that, crikey. Very, very little wear on that. Very little wear. This has been played, but it's been very well looked after. I'm actually quite surprised that the lyric sheets aren't in with this. So that is side one then. And then that is side two. Cracking album. if you're just starting to get into the Beatles, or you're just starting to get back into records, and you love the Beatles, this is one of the cheapest ways to get the Beatles best songs, if you like. If you get this and 67 to 70, and then if you get past masters, you've basically got the best of the Beatles. Again, this it's not in the original inner sleeve, or is it? Maybe it didn't come with the lyrics in Germany, I don't know, because they look quite vintage compared to the discs. Again, this it has been played, but so when I'm going like that, I've got my light there, because it's the first time I've looked at some of these properly. That is actually in really, really nice condition. That is in really, really nice condition, really is. That's side 3, and then we get side 4. If you live in Germany, or you know someone lives in Germany, or you was based in Germany in the army or something like that, tell me if this actually came with, because that is very, very similar in style to the inner sleeves that had the lyrics on. So on a good day, I'd say that's worth 15 to 20 quid. I'm doing this for a reason, by the way. I'm going to tell you roughly what I think these are worth. I could be way off the mark. eBay is very, very strange at the minute. I was looking at something earlier on today. It was a reissue of Please Please Me from the 1980s, and somebody wanted £125 for it. Now, will they ever get that for it? I don't know. But I would say that's £15 to £20, as it is all day long, that one. The Beatles for sale, although it is, the sleeve is not absolutely brilliant. I'd say the sleeve's poor or good. The record is very, very good, and it is the rare one box EMI parlophone. I would say that's roughly between £30 and £50, roughly. If I was going to sell them, which I'm not, I'm just doing this to then tell you what I paid for them. So if say that's 40 and that's 15, that's £55 there, isn't it? Then you could say 20 for that, so that's 75. 20 for that, that's 95. Probably 15 for that, that's 110. I'd say 25 for that, because that is in really, really nice condition. So that's 145, I think, if I'm doing my maths right. The White Album will say a tenner, just because of the poster and the sleeve. So that's 155, I think. 155. Say that as a fiver, so that's 160. That a tenner, so that's 170. That one I'd say £25, so that's 195, isn't it? And that one I'd say roughly is around 35, so it's roughly £220, isn't it? £220 worth of records. If I wanted to buy them separately, that's sort of what I would be looking at getting, having to pay. This is a strange thing. This is what I said. I didn't pay anywhere near that. It was down as two job lots, so although it was off the same seller, one was £20 and one was 15, so it's £35 in total, and I think it was £10 for postage and packaging, so it was £45. Yeah, and like I say, the worst one is the White Album, in all honesty, but I know I've got a spare disc somewhere, so I could even make that so it would be sellable. If not, the poster's worth a tenner. But that's great. That is the find of the day, I think, that one. And believe it or not, that one. I think they're the two that stand out for me. They're all worthwhile to have in your collection. I know I got a bargain with these. I really do know that I got a bargain with these. I was lucky, but the seller was happy and I'm happy. But like I said, I haven't bought these to actually sell. I bought them to add to the collection, and I'm quite happy that I've got them now, because I didn't actually realise that was on a 1-box EMI, which are actually quite rare now. And the 2-box EMI with the flip back sleeves and the Gramophone Co. limited text on the inner label are getting extremely rare now. The Beatles Beat is rare in the UK with the Beatles, although that is a reissue. It's quite rare. That's rare-ish. That Interviews one's not worth hardly anything. The White Album, like I say, the poster's got to be worth a tenner if nothing else. That is in really nice condition. With the Beatles, the UK one is okay, and the rest of them are fantastic. So you tell me what you think. Have I got a bargain there, or have I overpaid? Have I overpriced them? I'm just going on what I saw on eBay and Discogs this morning. I'd say roughly there's £230 worth of records there, if I was going to resell them, or if I wanted to buy them separately or whatever, depending where you get them from, obviously, because you know, some sellers see the Beatles and they think, oh yeah, it's £150 album straight away. Not always the case, is it, folks? So yeah, that's been entertaining for you. Just a quick shout out to everybody that is subscribing. Thank you very much. I do mean this, and I don't want to sound like I'm going on about it all the time, but we're at over 420 subscribers now. So you know, whether you're old subscriber or a new subscriber, thank you very much, and I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I do mean it very sincerely as well when I say it. When I started this channel, I never thought I was going to get anywhere near that. So thank you very much. Thank you to everybody that is leaving comments. I do try to answer them. Sometimes if I'm on really stupid shifts at work, it might take me a week. Sometimes I might just like them, or I'll send a heart, or you know, thank you very much for your comments and things like that. But I do look at them all. And thank you to everybody that's liking my videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's gone on a little bit, but I'm glad I did it in one big video now, because you know, it just shows if you're prepared to sit and look on eBay, and your missus lets you sit there for like an hour or 2 hours just looking at stuff, there's bargains still to be had out there. Theoretically, apart from the Beatles Beat, I didn't need any of them to add to the collection, but I'm glad I have now, because I've got a 1-box stereo Beatles for sale, and I've got them 2-box, is it Hard Day's Night and Help, but with the flip back sleeve. So you know, I think it's worked out quite well actually, and I'm very chuffed. Chuffed in English, in England, just means you're very happy. That's all it means. It don't mean it's not a swear word or anything horrible. It just means you know, you're chuffed, you're happy, and I'm very chuffed and very happy at my little purchase there. Please stay tuned in the next coming days, because we've also got this one still to look at, which is original Beatles 1960s mono LPs from Please Please Me up until Sgt. Pepper, I think, but I've still got a little bit of research to do on them. So as always, thank you for joining me, you know, and thank you for putting up with me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please stay safe whatever you're doing. So until the next time, it's Beatle Dave wishing you all peace, love and happiness. Oh, and if you've just watched this video and you're not subscribed, just think about subscribing, because it is free. And the more subscribers I get, the more videos I can do and things like that, and make the channel a little bit better and a little bit more professional. It's getting there. It is getting there. you know. But at the end of the day, I'm just an old geezer, and when I started this, I didn't really know what I was doing. Still don't in some ways, but it seems to be doing the trick. And the trick is to show all you people out there some of my records that I think will be of interest to you. Now, there's some in there that I didn't even know existed. So I'm very happy, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll leave it there. So like I said, love, peace and happiness, whatever you're doing, please stay safe, and I'll see you again very soon. Just remember, Beatle Dave loves you all.